called Ecam Live, and we're live now, kinda.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So what we can do is, um, yeah, we're live,
Ah,
and
so we're
Oh,
broadcasting already.
okay.
yeah,
Cool.
which is
Oh, there.
pretty
It's
good
coming out.
news. Yeah.
I have my Facebook on. Let's see what's happening.
Am I in screen or am I not?
Live.
You are now.
Right.
We're on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out where I am in the center because
Um.
You're in the center.
Yeah.
no. I meant in screen, whether or not
So we're
we're parang
broadcasting already. No,
Well, we're
you're
here
on.
already. There's two people watching, so unless that's Euro. Hey. Oh, okay. You
There you
guys all have really interesting screens.
are. Now I'm using the iPhone. There you go.
Oh, why is there two
Hey,
of
what's?
Harris?
No, I'm just
Yeah, I
setting
know.
it up.
What's up?
Wait. I'm just setting it up.
So technically, hello everyone. So whoever's watching, how do I type in this? Hi Naz.
Who's
Trying to
there?
figure out. Well, somebody's writing in the chat box, and I've never used this before, so I don't know how to reply in the chat box. I don't think I can. I can watch.
Which chat box? Which chat box? Which
I'm
chat box
looking
is it
at
coming out from?
the Ecamm Live, so I can see the
Oh,
chat,
really?
but I can't reply.
Oh, I don't see anything, man.
Hey, Naz.
Or you...
All right. So we're live.
Hello.
Hey guys, how are you?
Okay, so let's
I'm
do
good.
like a little intro, I guess. Welcome to Coffee Banter with the Coffee Rockstars. I'm Michael Harris. We've got Eric Conlin and Raul de Peralta. And
Hello.
we're here on this gloomy Monday to hopefully cheer
Lumi.
you guys up. In this episode, we have prepared some. Well, I've sent Raul and Eric some mystery coffees, which I think they tasted this morning. I think they had some fun tasting it, and unfortunately, one of them tasted it before having breakfast, and that was Eric. And I think he got a little bit messed up. But hopefully, you're okay. Are you okay?
No, it was good. I felt that I wanted more stuff. It made me eat more after I had it. I was like, normally I would only just have some bread, but then after I had that, I was like, ooh, now I'm really hungry.
Takaw mo kasi.
Meh.
Oh,
Yeah,
hello
man.
Exodon. What's up?
Hello.
He's drinking H&S brewed coffee.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
pretty
Let's
good.
see if
It's
we
pretty
can.
good.
Let's see if we can.
Okay, so
There
before we
you
get into discussion, how was your weekend? What were people up to since the last time we were here?
What do you mean? Oh,
Last time we
The
were
the
chatting, what
viewers.
did you guys, I haven't seen you guys in a week.
well, I spent all weekend trying to figure this live stream thing out, and it's funny because I did an accidental. I pressed
Hi,
live
Vanessa.
the other day,
Hi,
and Raul
Lyndon.
saw me, and I was totally not dressed. Like I was it was and Raul was fast enough to take a screenshot and send me and let me know that
Yes.
I might get more followers if it continues. So good thing
I
was
need I need 11 more pictures so I can have a calendar for 2021
Dear
and
God.
I'll sell it.
Dear
No,
God.
how about you guys? What were you guys
So
up to?
I had an interesting week. This is going to be part of me doing show and tell again. So, part of this discussion, I guess, is just catching up with what people have been up to and what they were doing. So this week,
Mhm.
I got a couple orders that I got. So, first thing I received, just to show off, I got Masters of the Universe Orko.
Orko!
So this was my favorite character in He-Man. So they've actually released it. Mattel's doing a re-release on this one, so he's more cartoon accurate. So this one I ordered from Kids Company PH, and they did a really good job shipping. So there's the card back. So you can see that you have Orko, He-Man, Manny Faces, Skeletor, Trapjaw, and Stairglow. So
Hey guys in the chat, are you if you guys don't know who Orko is, you guys are way too young, and the host, the my co-host here are pretty old na, matanda na kami, kaya kilala namin si Orko. Kayo, kilala ba niyo
It
si
Yes.
Orko?
it's done. It's coming back. Everything's coming back. Saved by the Bell has a new season. What was old is new again.
Ikaw, Raul, what were you up to this weekend?
Well, judging with my scarf, I watched again Mandalorian season 1 just to catch
Mandalorian!
up, and of
Okay.
course finished up season 2 uh for the second time. So I'm really loving the Mandalorian.
Are
And
you?
I'm yeah, I even if it's all fan service, there's what they said was what's his name? The director who did the new sequels. I forgot his name. Who's that guy? The he was saying that it's
Baloney?
hard to no, Abrams. He said that it was hard to capture the old followers with the new ones. And of
Okay.
course, the guy John Favreau who made the Mandalorian was able to with what he did with Mandalorian, he was able to bring everyone together. So you have a lot of the cult followings of the first trilogy, and then you have more people now. So it's fine. There's nothing bad with a little fan service.
It was all fan service.
Well, it was
So
well, that's what shows are, right? It's supposed to be for
and
the
it's
fans.
Disney.
Yeah. So I think nostalgia is something that's very powerful these days.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, like what you said earlier, like what was old is now new.
Yep.
Are
And
you team Boba Fett or are you team Mandalorian? I don't know what his name is other than Mandalorian.
well,
Uh,
ikaw
Din
kayo,
Jordan.
Mandalorian ako kasi when I remember Boba Fett in the original series, he did nothing, and
Yeah.
I never thought he was, that much of a badass. Like he, well, come on, didn't he accidentally fall into like a pit
Exactly.
and
That's
he should
how
be dead, right?
But that's how
lousy,
galing he
lousy.
was. He didn't have to do anything other than fall into a pit, and there was a cult following that came after him.
Yeah, because he looked cool, man.
That's the power of having a nice costume and not having any lines. I don't think he had any lines.
No, he did. He had
He did. He
he
spoke
means nothing to
to
be dead.
Vader.
Vader. He spoke to Vader. He just had a few lines. He just had a few lines.
Oh. All right. So
All right.
tapos na tayo kay Mandalorian or tutuloy pa natin?
Yeah.
Pwede natin
O
tuloy
baka
mamaya.
mamaya na lang.
Mamaya.
Okay, so let's get to the coffee. So
Great.
this weekend I sent Raul and Sir Eric some coffees. It was a mystery to them, and these coffees are, well, it's coffee from the market, uh, and it's available out there.
Out
And
there, all right.
Out there in the
out
wild,
there,
wild
yeah.
west.
So secret muna, di ba? So it's
Yeah.
available, and I tasted it myself. I thought it was an interesting mix, and it
Wait.
might be.
Maybe one of the things that we should also go on with discussion is since they came as a blind bag or blind boxes, I'm curious about how you guys also figured out how you wanted to brew the coffee. Like, because that's one of the things that we always get whenever we buy something from the supermarket or whatnot, or we get coffees. How do you determine how you want to brew it? Because not everyone will, like, let's say it's not an espresso blend, or it's not like, how did you guys decide on what your brew method would be? So I'm curious about that. So maybe we could touch base on that a little bit in a bit.
Well, before I sent it to you guys, I did cup it first. So I did the SCA cupping method, 8.25 grams to the bowl, which is I think 200 grams per bowl.
Around that much, yeah. And then,
And
so you just cupped it.
yeah, I just cupped it, and I thought I made my notes, and when we started doing this mystery coffee banter show, I felt that it might be something interesting for you guys because it's a pretty big range, all three of them. and
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
I think it reflects what the current market is. All three of the coffees would have a customer base. Um,
Yes.
and some people may enjoy some, and some people might not enjoy these coffees. So it really depends. Uh, but here's what we're gonna do. Since I bought a lot of these coffees, people who would like to taste these coffees along with you guys and rewatch this discussion can can purchase it from the vault.ph, and it would be called
Uh-huh.
the Coffee Rockstars Mystery Coffee, which
Puede,
won't be a
puede.
mystery anymore because we're
Yeah.
talking about it. All right.
Wait. So wait. Where did you buy these? Did you roast the coffees or did you buy them like off grocery stores or order online?
Um, they were sent to me roasted. Two of them
Okay.
was sent to me roasted, and one I had to roast. One came green, and
Okay.
Ah.
it was a very special coffee. Hi, Lyndon. Merry Christmas.
Oh, OG.
Sabi
OG in
niya,
the house.
wow, may subtitle.
How come I don't get subtitles?
Sabi niya, may subtitle daw.
Is there?
Maybe he's got something special on his screen. Ay, Lyndon,
Probably.
hi.
Baka yes, ano, si
Nakikita
Master
yung
din doon.
subtitle.
Now we're all like staring into like our screens to see
Yeah.
whether or not
Yeah,
there's like
see, like
subtitles.
if it's just
What's
like
going on?
if it's like a setting or anything. I don't see anything.
Wait, sabi niya puppies or coffees? Hola.
Oh man.
Lyndon, ano
Uh,
iniinom mo, ha? What are you drinking?
well, I don't have puppies or, but I do have little cat dumplings
Why do you have cat dumplings?
because it comes from mystery boxes called Nyansang.
Oh,
These
yeah.
ones.
Ah,
So, usong-uso
So
pala ang mystery boxes.
yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah. That's
different
true.
dim sum pieces that you can get, and you don't know which one you get. So I have a Xiaolong Miao. So
Hey,
these
that's
ones
cute.
were by Mighty Jacks from Singapore. So a lot of people have been asking me about these. So yeah,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
cool. I didn't know
It
it
looks
had
like a
subtitles.
looks
That's
like a
pretty cool.
It's
I
a
like that.
bamboo basket.
it well the box was designed so it looks like a bamboo basket, but it's actually cardboard.
Ah, okay. So you don't. It's something that you don't put over a steamer or anything.
No, no, no. It's just
Mm.
more decorative, but it's really cool. A lot of people are collecting, getting into vinyls right now. So it's really well made. You have a Chinese-looking plate, and then you have the dim sum cat.
Dim sum cat, and then you'll eat the dim sum cat.
Well, hopefully not, but you can put it with pictures. So you can take pictures with your nice food and your Christmas meals and whatnot.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so who Raul,
So
why don't you start? How did you decide? Like, so Harris Cup
ah,
is in first. How did you decide on yours?
well, because what we did the last time is we cupped it. So I really wanted to try something else with these coffees. So I decided to go with espresso. So I
Okay.
went through the pressurized method. So I used the compresso.
Okay.
So I used around 14 grams of each coffee with around 9 clicks with on the comandante.
Okay.
And what I can say is that with the brews that I've been getting as an espresso is that not all of it, I guess, is really fit to be an espresso, be pulled as an espresso. I got a bit
Yeah.
busy, I think, actually, with one of them.
Oh, so you actually did it all three.
I did all three. No, but I yeah, of course I did all three.
Oh, no,
I did all
as
three.
using the compresso.
Yeah, so I brew one, then of course while I'm tasting, I'm grinding the second one, then grind the second one, grinding the third, and tasting the third one. So yeah, I can't do it all at the same time. I'll just have one compressor and one comandante. But there, yeah, so it came out. I had it very interesting findings with it. But as what Harry said a while ago, that these mystery coffees have a good range. I mean, there's a range that you can play with on what brewing method should come out. So how
Okay.
about you, Eric? What did you do? What did you do?
Okay,
I think you did
so
a hybrid thing here. I think in
yeah,
Oh, you guys just got 20 grams, I think. I sent you guys 20 grams each.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it
So
wasn't
So I have a
normally,
much.
few. I have a few
well,
to eat
normally
later.
for how I decide on things is once I grind the coffee, I will get the fragrance and the aroma of it, and then from the aroma, I usually pick up from whether how I want to brew it. So, whether I opted for a pour over or if I wanted to do it for an espresso base, so if it needed pressure. But I will only find out after I grind it. So I'll do the grind first. Like I'll do a little bit of grind, get the aroma, the fragrance of the grounds, and then kind of match it to where I want to brew it. So for one of them, I did a pour. Well, I did one pour over, and I did two espressos. Oh no, two pour overs and one espresso.
Uh huh.
And that
Using
was just
what?
because
Using what machine?
I used a V60 for A. For B, I was supposed to use Yura, but God, I screwed up because I used the Comandante grind and I used 5 clicks, and that was too fine.
Too fine
So
for a Jura.
yeah,
Well, you
so
didn't
it
say you
became
were using
really
a Jura. Like when you asked like how many clicks for an espresso, I thought you had an espresso machine.
no. My God, it took me forever to grind that with the Comandante. If I want to see somebody in one of the championships grind their espresso with a grind Comandante. See how fast they can grind.
Speaking
Be
of
funny.
championships, I think for espresso, WBC bawal ata komandante. You need to use the grinder that's provided.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe in a standard competition then.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be funny though.
It took me
Nag-grind,
forever, and
nag-grind pa
then
rin siya tapos na yung kalaban or umuwi na yung
well,
judges.
so buti lang for B, I had so the first batch was kind of I couldn't use it, and then I had 6 grams left, of which I decided to do a tiny pour over, and then the
Yeah, you
last
can do
one I
that.
yeah, but that the second one was the one that I wanted as an espresso based coffee sana.
Well,
Ah,
Tapos
boo-hoo, man.
C was supposed to be brewed. I should have brewed it as a pour over, but uh, I wanted something parang espresso based for the morning. So
So you
I
used
ended up brewing
C.
that. Well, I ended up brewing C, which was a mistake. I should have brewed the C, but I had it as an espresso, so that was my mistake. So screwed up twice.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wouldn't say
It's
screwed up, but
okay.
it
It's
wasn't the
okay.
optimal extraction for the flavors of what I would have preferred. But yeah, it was uh, it was probably my fault. They were all good coffees. It's just it was my fault that I did not prepare properly.
No problem. No problem. All right. So why don't you tell us about coffee A then?
Coffee A again. When I did my notes, I wrote a smiley face.
Oh,
oh.
It was really
So
good.
so it's
When
a
I
coffee
ground
that would
after
make
grinding,
you
it was
happy.
I got a
Yeah.
lot of floral and really
yeah.
sweet. It was like a lot of stone fruit,
Uh-huh.
and the acidity was really round. And I was trying to figure
Okay.
out what kind of parang acidity it was, and um, I felt that it was green plum.
Green plum. Okay.
It was a black tea. It was a really nice black tea finish, and it was very refreshing. So it was I was like after you had it, it was like you have that feeling. Uh, it was very well balanced. My
Uh-huh.
brew for that was uh 20 grams 20 grams coffee, 300 grams water,
Uh-huh.
and then in between I paused for 30 seconds. And yeah, temperature started out at 88, and then by the time I was drinking it, it was already at 84.
So you used it
Mhm.
all up. You used up all the 20 grams.
Yeah, well, I figured, anong gagawin ko sa butal?
Oo nga naman. Oo nga naman.
Because
Because
Sorry, ah. I'd probably mix it all together and make a brew later.
Oh,
I
Ikaw
walang sayang,
talaga.
di ba?
I will make a blend. Well, for coffee A on my part, um, I got the same aromatics with that Eric did. It was very sweet. It had very nice rounded fruity notes, meaning it wasn't sharp or anything. But when it came out as an espresso, so it was 14 grams, then maybe 30 grams out. It had more citrus than stone fruits. So
yes.
it had a very bright orange. It had like or some kind of lime to it, but it was also sweet. Um, it was also very sweet. It was also a very sweet coffee. But what I had to do was that I took it. I'm sorry, I didn't take it as espresso. I brewed it as an espresso. I took it as an americano, but I had to add a little more water because even as I felt that it was really compact, it was really really tight. So diluting it helped a bit, but I think this particular coffee, because the espresso really intensifies everything about the coffee. This coffee is known, I think, is really good for its vibrancy and its sweetness. So I think Eric went through a good, picked the right method, which is to brew it.
Yeah.
And I think you'll get a lot more, or you'd enjoy this coffee a whole lot more via maybe a pour over than an espresso.
Yeah, I actually said it would have been nice to have it after lunch. Like after having a nice meal, you want it like as a almost a pseudo dessert coffee ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
just something to sip and you conversational. It's not a coffee that you would have first thing in the morning that would kind of like punch you in the face. It was
Yeah.
more of a, oh, this is very gentle. It's very relaxing.
Yeah. So more of like yung dessert coffee or something in the afternoon, like afternoon coffee, something.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It's more of for enjoyment, I think, rather
Yeah.
than waking you up. It's more
Yes.
Yep.
of
Yes.
It was very refreshing.
soothing,
So
soothing.
whoever did that coffee, good job. I don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
who does it, but it was really good.
Would you guys dare put a price to it? How much
A
should
bag
that coffee be? Like
per bag?
for
250
80
gram, 200
grams.
gram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Tingnan
400? 400 for 200 grams?
mura naman. Ano pa?
Mura na
No,
ba
that's
yan?
too cheap. That's
Oh,
Too
too
cheap
cheap.
ba?
cheap.
Yeah.
Wait, ah.
Um. For okay. I would say.
What? 1 for a kilo?
No. Well, I would say 1,000 for 250 grams should be okay.
I think
All
that's
right.
about the going price. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that's close. That's
Yeah.
close.
I think that sound that parang if I was to have that, it would be because it was this coffee without a doubt is specialty.
still
Are you
good.
having it again? You're tasting it
Yung
again?
butal iniinom niya.
Yeah. I still have it here, man.
Yeah, I would say about 1,000 would be a good price for it. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in that level. It's that kind of coffee. How about B,
But
guys? Did you guys go ABC or did you guys mix it?
Eric, did you do ABC?
yes.
Ah.
I, there,
Okay.
I'm not the type of person who would be like ACB. It would drive me insane.
Uh-huh.
It needs to go sequentially.
Sa bagay, oo, tama.
But you did. Okay, fine. You did it sequentially backwards the other time.
Yes. It still needs to follow a pattern, no, one way or another.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so B,
But
start. How about with you? How about B, Eric?
Oh, guys, B.
oh gosh, this was disappointing for me because I brewed like I ended up having to brew it. So as I said, I was gonna have it as an espresso when I ground initially. I don't know why when I grounded, it had a pseudo savory note to it.
Maalat.
Yeah, which not in a bad way. It was like parang ooh, that's a little bit savory, but it
Is
made
it
me hungry.
savory ba siya maalat or savory umami?
Savory umami,
Okay.
not
That's
salty.
that's that's a that's a good good thing these days.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to
Actually,
use it as an espresso base. Because the moment that I ground it, I was like, "Ooh, this would be good as an espresso." Because I figured it would enhance more of the chocolatey, dark, parang those type of notes, like the sugary notes.
So guys
Um,
in the chat, if you guys want to taste umami in coffee, that is coffee B in this set, and we'll put up a link after the show where you guys can pick up this mystery box set. Na hindi na
mhm.
mystery kasi re-reveal natin mamaya.
so after I screwed up the first batch, I had 6 grams that I ended up having to do a pour over because there's no way I could really work with what was left. So with the pour over, it was really interesting. I got her initially malic acidity, kind of like a pear,
Okay.
uh, and then it was quite heavy, which is why one of the reasons why I wanted to make it as an espresso because taste wise, it was kind of like, oh, this would be really nice to enhance the subtle characteristics that you could find in the within the pour over. And then towards the end, I had some orangey hint. So it was a little bit of a round, like a sweet orange, but not the acidity, the sweetness.
But did you still was the umami still there or it's gone?
It dialed down because I had to do it as a pour over.
Okay.
Ah,
I don't know. If I had 6 grams of coffee left, I wouldn't have done a pour over. I would have actually just cupped it. I would have just poured water in it. But yeah. Okay.
Well, we were talking about because the point for this was brew methods, right?
Okay.
I didn't want to, parang I could have done a press, but I didn't have a French press near me, so it didn't make sense.
yeah, it's too little to make a French press.
Oh, it's
Yeah, but maybe yeah,
everything's gonna stay in the bottom.
yeah. It's like, or the all the water will soak
Sir,
it up.
Drip, drip, drip.
But this coffee when I did it via espresso, um, I did get some saltiness with the espresso. So it was, but it wasn't the type of saltiness that's overpowering. It's just that like if you have like salted chocolate or salted caramel, it had this kind of feeling. And the reason why I think coffee B is really great for espresso is like what Eric said. Even as a pour over, it had really great body. It had chocolate. It had a very strong molasses. You had
mm,
this like you could sort of like when I was drinking it, you could picture that shiny brown molasses. That's like what really came to mind. Um and I think because if you combine B with milk, is that sweetness. If you really use a really good kind of milk that really adds a little bit sweetness to the coffee, that's really going to be a really good like cappuccino or latte. I think coffee B would be really best for espresso and orange. Yeah, I actually got orange peel when it came out as an espresso. So that's like the acid that accompanies this particular coffee when you brew it as an
So
espresso.
it's a little bit bitter, like ganun ba? Like
At the back, Harris. No, I found it a little salty. I found it a little bit bitter, but it wasn't. It's something that you can understand na part of a good flavor profile, but not something that it's good pero sa dulo mapakla ayoko. It had something actually good to contribute to the cup.
see, I think
mm.
this coffee is an interesting learning coffee. If people want to, because it's got the entire range. It's got umami. I think it's more umami than salty. It's got
Mhm.
umami like soy sauce maybe.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
did. That did come to mind. Soy sauce.
and it's got the orange peel. Depends how you brew it. Because that if you use cooler water, it would be less orange peel and more orange. And yeah, it's got the range. It's an interesting coffee. Um, do you guys like it?
I like it
I would have
as
preferred it if I got my way of brewing it, but I did not get my way of brewing it. So I think I would have liked it.
All
I
right,
think I
guys.
would like it, but I'd like to have milk with it. Maybe
Milk.
just
Pwede, pwede.
like
Pwede.
a Gibraltar, yung konti lang, because you
Okay,
still want those flavors to come out.
I think one of the questions that a lot of people have always asked is how do you determine whether or not, or like, let's say, parang, what makes you want to brew a certain coffee a certain way? Let's say you only had like 20 grams. What is your deciding factor on how to? Because imagine mo, if a lot of these packages are, let's say, at 1,000 for 200 grams, syempre, they wouldn't want to prepare one method just for a tester.
Uh-huh.
So what do you gauge? Like what do you guys use as indicators of how to brew certain things?
I think that's a really interesting question. I think it's important to always communicate with the supplier. So, for example, I got a few coffees from a certain roaster a few weeks ago, and I asked them how should he what does he suggest? How long should I rest it? Um, how should I brew it? And all these things. And if hindi nila masagot yon, that's a problem, right? But if they're able to answer all those questions and give a recommendation how to brew it, then that means they care about what they do, and they care about how the consumers um, would be able to enjoy and consume their coffee. So I think that's step one. But if somebody gifts you a coffee and it's an unknown, like what you guys had, then it's anong feeling mo? Parang, 'di ba? Like parang we receive coffees all the time, and I think the most basic for me, without dialing in the coffee, and what is to first get to know it, right? Like so, I cup it or I do a V60. And my ratios are really simple. It's just, 20 grams in and 300 out for a V60, and then I adjust from there. So, yung unang-unang brew is getting to know the coffee and getting to um, parang first impression. And then doon ka na mag-adjust, 'di ba? So, if the coffee is too like you I think who mentioned it? Too compact. If the coffee
Mm.
is too compact, then
Yeah.
you start using more water, just to
Mhm.
open up the flavors. If the coffee is too light, then you add more coffee. You increase the ratio. So I
Hmm.
think cupping or V60 would be the easiest. Kung tipid talaga, then mag-cupping ka, 'di ba? You do a cupping
Yeah.
because you get the full extraction.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in the cupping and practicing sensory skills.
Well, you bring up a really interesting point when you mentioned earlier that you said you had a roaster and they gave you parang coffees, and parang they didn't really give you exact instructions on how to brew it. Just because I think you can interpret this two ways. Eh. I think more so nowadays, coffee is really open for interpretation. Parang kasi you say roasting is a craft or an art form, di ba? But then as an artist, there's two ways you can approach your end product. Either you tell your customers what they should be able to get out of it. On the other hand, there's also that aspect where it's up to the consumer to derive what the message or what are the flavor profiles that they get out of this. So there, it's kind of like two ways, two viewpoints that kind of clash, right? So on the one hand, if you go to a cafe and then like like let's say you have some amazing barista pour you a coffee, and there's like these are the notes that I want to bring out. You have to taste these notes because that's the reason why I prepared this for
That's
you.
like a Nazi barista.
Hey, there are some people who are like that. There are some artists that are saying, no, you did not.
I think as a roaster who is selling their coffee, it's their responsibility to, give instructions. It's like it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
um it's like it's like kung bumili ka ng computer tapos imposibleng gamitin, right? Like
Yep.
it should come with instructions, and it should be user friendly, and I think that's where the industry should be going. Hey guys, continue talking. I just need to answer a phone call. Wow.
Sure, sure,
And we're
sure.
live,
For
no?
sure. Raul, so
Yep. What's up?
yeah, are we gonna discuss the coffees while he's not around, or are we gonna go on tangents?
No, I don't. When actually, I think that's a good question. If you get a coffee, and you only had 20 grams, na nga, how would you portion your 20 grams?
I would
How
do
would,
what I did. I would grind it, and then from the aroma, I would run from there. I would grind a little bit first, and then from the smell, because I always I whenever you have an espresso, you know
uh-huh,
it's gonna enhance the subtle characteristics of the coffee
uh-huh,
already,
yeah,
right? So from there, you'd be like, okay, is this a coffee yung fragrance lamang that
uh-huh,
would be really good to have really enhanced characteristics, or is it something that you need to dial down? Because katulad ng, if you have a coffee that amoy lamang, you know it's going to be a really bright acidic coffee or
uh-huh,
really citrusy, then you'd be like, okay, I'm going to do this as a pour over, because the moment that I pull it off as an espresso, it's going to be too much.
uh-huh. Okay,
And
that's
now
one.
I don't drink dairy, kaya nga milk options are not really something that I play with.
Why?
I don't drink milk. I'm not a baby anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because there's if I had 20 grams, what I would do, so I try to get a little bit more, is that I've actually learned how to cup with only 5 grams of coffee. But in order for you to do 5 grams of coffee, and it's something that I learned in Thailand, you really need to have the right vessel. So it's like 5 grams for 100 grams of water,
Okay.
and from that it still leaves me 15 grams to be able to do a spro or to do a pour over. So I think maybe that's a way that I learned from Thailand, that how they could manage to do a cupping to get, what are the flavors are there, and then you still have 15 grams that you'd like to brew with it. That's one thing that you guys can the viewers out there, that you can try. And from what I know, what I'm noticing now from the forums is that, not the local forums, but from some brewing talks from other countries, is that they're starting to try. The brewing at smaller doses now is becoming a not really a trend, but people are trying to get more out of less. Because what's happened, like for example, if you're usually doing an 18-gram brew, they're now going back to the classic, which is like the 14 and the 15-gram brews. So I think
Wait, are they doing
these
that
are
to save money?
no, they're not. Because okay, here's an example. When I used to work with a coffee chain, we were doing 30 grams of coffee, and we were putting out maybe 50 grams out. So it's a it's a ristretto, but you scaled the ristretto up to
Sayang. That's
30
like
grams.
so wasteful, man.
Exactly,
That is
exactly.
so
So
wasteful.
yeah, and that was a technique, I think, that was popularized by that Australian barista champion, Paul Bassett, that he really jams a lot into his portafilter, and you get like a scaled up ristretto. But what they've noticed is that those when you do those kinds of pulls, you get something that's super 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 compact. So the trend there in Australia is that they're bringing the doses back down, and they're increasing the output or the yield. So that's what's it's also is being carried off over to into coffee, because people are relying too much on too much coffee, and they're really getting more compact than when they're brewing with a lot less, but focusing more on the yield and the flow and the temperature. They're actually getting a lot more. They're opening up the flavors a little bit more. So that's something that we could look at maybe next time. It's very very interesting.
Okay.
All right. So we've
Yeah.
done A and B. You guys wanna talk about C?
Mm,
Yeah. Wait, how much
that
do you
made me
think
dizzy.
C? Wait, how much do you think B would? Like, let's say you had
Sige,
to buy
magkano
250
si B?
grams of
Magkano
B.
si
How
B?
much would you pay?
How much would you pay?
Oh, how much would I pay?
Yeah.
This one
Um,
was just sent to me, so I didn't pay.
Yeah, so it smells like Milo now. It's cooled down. It smells like Milo.
So malt.
It's
I mean,
malt.
it's
Yeah.
consistent actually,
you
di
know,
ba? Yung
for a coffee like this, I would assume I'd say about 800.
800 for
Bag
what? A kilo? A bag?
No,
for 250.
for two. Well, that's the high end. Again, I can only base this off from the 6 grams that I had.
800 for a bag. Ang mahal niya na. O sige, sige. Okay, okay.
What, maybe 1.5? 1.5 for a kilo. So that's like, no,
One,
maybe 500 for 200-gram bags.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Maybe
500 to
maybe.
600. Yeah, maybe. Pwede,
I
pwede.
think that would be a good price point.
Mhm.
Parang
Keeping in mind,
nagpa-prices right tayo, no?
Ano
well
na?
that
Nagpa-prices right.
Tapos we should have a virtual ano here, no, for the viewers one time. Pag ano
Oo.
na, pag
Yung pwede sila sumali. Pwede sila
yes,
sumali and
yes.
then we play the prices right.
Price is right, diba? They will have your themes, the theme
Which
music and
reminds
sound
me,
effects.
the raffle, we're gonna choose the winner for the raffle of the cupping spoons. It's going to
Uh-huh.
be the Barista Quest, 2 pieces Barista Quest cupping spoons.
Uh-huh.
So we're just gonna look at the comments from last episode, and we're gonna just choose a winner.
Yeah, cool.
So, sige, let's
okay.
continue this.
So, see, I decided because I really wanted to have something espresso based during this morning, I decided to use this as an espresso, which I should have not. I should have done a pour over.
I had this coffee as an espresso this morning.
And
Yeah, it's espresso. I had mine as an espresso.
It was okay.
That's a
it should have been a pour over. For me,
No, yeah.
how did you find it?
As an espresso,
Yeah.
I dialed in the shot. It was perfect.
Yeah. So what
Okay.
did you get with this one?
It was it was totally
Uh,
balanced, man. Like it was medium high sweetness. It was but I did spend the time to dial it in. And
Okay.
yeah, I got medium high sweetness, medium acidity, low bitterness. Um, my ratio was it was 19.5 in and 41 grams out.
Wow. All right.
The weight was it was a medium weight. The texture was silky. Like this would have been a perfect espresso. It's just you need to dial it in.
yeah, I did
Aroma
not dial
wise,
it in.
it was it had oranges. Like I was really surprised with this one because I had it as a pour over originally,
Uh-huh.
and I thought it was not good coffee. But as an
Really?
espresso, it was pretty good. Yeah.
I agree. I think this coffee it shares more similarities with B than with A. But it does have like there's the oranges that you have there. I think the shot that I did with the compressor, because the compressor is a little bit limited, and because we had how many grams of beans. Yeah, it I think this is pretty good as but it's not as I don't feel it as heavy as coffee B though.
No, no, no. I think this was a like it's not hindi siya compact eh. Ano siya eh. But I did use 20 grams and the
Okay.
shot was pretty long. So
Now, so do you think that C would be a coffee enjoyed as an espresso only, or is it something that is for a milk espresso with milk base with milk?
it would be good
I
with
did
milk.
not like this coffee as an espresso.
Wait, so Harris,
Personally.
you'd like it as an espresso only?
Yeah, I enjoyed it as an espresso, but for me, it's more of a blender coffee. Like it's a
Oh,
coffee that would give like if you have a coffee that's um, too flavorful, too compact, like the other one, like
mm-hmm.
B, this would be a good one to go together with it.
Okay,
Just
yeah, yes,
to
yes,
Mm.
yes.
because it's I think it would work together. These two coffees would work together.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It'll bring down the alat or the umami of the other one, and it'll balance each other.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. But it's yeah. Like I wouldn't necessarily enjoy it as a pour over, but I'm sure like if I had a little bit more time with it, it could be better.
Probably. You're saying,
Okay,
Eric? What
so
were you
I
saying?
guess the main difference between what a dialed-in shot is like versus mine, because I got similar notes to you guys, but mine wasn't quite as
He just muted it himself.
Did he? Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
muted yourself. Did he
Yeah,
mute
he muted
himself?
himself.
Hey man, check your.
Guess
Oh, where's he
who?
going?
Oh, napikon. Ikaw eh.
Ako wala akong ginagawa. Where'd
Oh,
he go?
ba't umalis?
Eric! Where'd he
Oh,
go?
should we talk about the Mandalorian?
Oh, oh, there he is. Saan ka pumunta? Wait, Eric, we can't hear you pa.
You're still muted. Wow, technical difficulties. You're still muted. All
Is he
right.
checking his Wi-Fi?
I don't know. Like I can't read lips, but yeah. So yeah, C. I don't know. Did you like it? Like
I liked it, I guess, but it's well, if you dialed it, you got a really balanced shot with it. Is it something that like who would enjoy those kinds of tastes? Is it for the greater majority?
it's not specialty. Like it's yeah.
Mm.
I think it's something that well the acidity is medium, like medium low acidity. So
Mm-mm.
I think yeah, it's commercial. It's commercial quality. I don't think it's a specialty coffee, and I think most cafes would be okay with it. Like it's something
Okay.
that cafes would work. Eric, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? He's still muted.
Baka it's on the soundboard. Are you on the soundboard? Baka there's
No, I
a
can't.
soundboard.
I can't control his mic. I think he might have
Ooh.
to call again. Can you hear us, Eric? Can you just
Thumbs up. Do you hear us?
yeah, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Maybe you have to call in again.
Yeah, guest has muted themselves. Okay, so
Now that he's gone.
yeah, now that he's gone, let's start talking about him.
Wait, how would you what would be the price of this? It's like what, 350 for 200 grams?
I think it'd be about the same price as B. Oh, there he is,
Okay.
calling in again. Hi, Eric. Can you hear us now?
hey.
Oh, there we
Oh,
can hear
there
you
you go.
again.
There you
There you
now.
go. What happened?
I got somebody tried to contact me through Facebook and then I got cut off.
Oh,
Okay.
aha,
There you go.
aha. Sino
Got it.
yon? Kilala ba namin yon? Dapat mag-join na siya.
My
Oh,
Psyduck came.
You're what?
you're what?
Psyduck.
Oh, okay. Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Hey.
Pokemon.
Okay,
So
so you were saying?
no, yeah. So I got the same notes, like similar notes to what you guys got, but not in the most positive light. So, when I had as an espresso, I said that there were no clear, distinct flavors that were coming out. Um, it had, it was somewhat sour, so I got lemony sourness. The white part of a citrus fruit, yung not
the
yung
The pit.
the pith,
Pith. Yeah.
yeah.
the pith of the, yeah. That's nasty, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was roasty, and I thought it was not balanced.
Interesting.
And how much would you price it at? Like how like for a 250-gram pack? How much would that be?
Mm, I'd say maybe about 400.
400? So a little bit cheaper than B.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay. So B is superior.
B is
Yeah.
superior just because I enjoyed it. I think I couldn't get anything out of C. I was so determined to get as much flavor out of this, so I put all the coffee beans into the machine. So it's not like I could have parang
So
retroactively said, "Oh, I can taste this." But I think as a pour over, it would have been really significantly better.
All right, so guys in the chat and guys watching, if you guys are interested in tasting these coffees, it will be available at the vault.ph. And when you're tasting along, don't do what Eric here did.
yeah, don't jam it.
Yeah, don't jam down.
Portion control.
And
Yeah.
I hope you guys are enjoying tasting these with the coffee rock stars. So, are you guys ready to find out what these coffees are?
Yes,
Oh God.
please. I'm very interested
All right.
to find out what these
Watch
are.
it be one of our coffees.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
surprised you didn't bash any of it. Is there any? Okay, bago ko i-reveal,
Let's.
is there?
You,
Well, I'm not.
is there what?
Well, go ahead, bash it, man. Like I think it's.
No,
No, there was
I
nothing wrong with any of them. They all had. It's just how you brew it. I think that was the biggest mistake. So it's not again. It's not the roaster's fault. It's the user who didn't follow instructions. If there was instructions.
Okay, so these coffees should come with instructions, or it should come with a video like this, and people should just taste along. So again, recap. A would be good as a pour over.
Yes.
I believe it would work also as an espresso. The recipe would be about 19.5 to 20 grams in and about 42 out. The notes would be, what would you guys say for a pour over? What did you guys say for A?
Uh,
orange.
stone fruit, green plum,
Oh, well, yeah. Why not?
rounded acidity,
Okay.
Sweet.
very balanced, floral
Uh-huh.
aromas. It was
Okay.
quite nice.
What was your recipe for it? For a pour over? What did you guys do?
I did 20 grams in, 300 grams out. I did the bloom for about 30 seconds, and then starting temp was at 88, and then end temperature was at 84.
Okay, so we'll have that as your recipe with the package. Raul, what was your recipe for this one?
Well, this is. I did it via espresso, so it was 15 grams in.
Okay.
And I guess you could have maybe 32 out in around 28 to 30 seconds with this particular coffee.
Awesome. And
And
yours
I think you will get a good
was,
range.
you got orange. What else did you get?
I got orange, I got caramel, I got some floral aromas, and I got not really much nuts. So I that's what I would say. It's orange, chocolate, and florals.
All right. So this is the Gesha Village Lot 79. It was my competition coffees. So that's why
Woo!
it was super
I knew
familiar
it.
to you
I was
guys.
like,
I thought this is nostalgic. I said, whoa,
I
this
was
is
like,
an,
it's like I was thinking, it's like I know this coffee feels familiar. I've
I
had this
know.
before.
So, guys in the chat, we've got
Woo!
got only a few kilos of this left, and it's selling out really soon.
So Raul's just like trying to get as much out of it now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can eat. You can make sip the grounds. You know.
Oh, so it's definitely got orange in it. I would say bergamot as well, Earl Grey, a little bit of passion fruit and apricot, depending on how you brew it. It's definitely specialty. And
Yeah.
here's the other thing. How much did you guys guess it was per 250?
You said Eric, you said like 2,000? Was it 2,000?
I would pay you
1,000. You said
1,000.
1,000
1,000
for a
okay.
bag. For a
All
bag
right.
of like 200 grams. So I think that's just about right because if I remember how much it was on the
I
vault,
think
then yeah.
900 ata eh, no? 900 ata on the vault.
Mm.
Sure. But since we're gonna be packaging this coffee together with the other two coffees, it's gonna be a little bit cheaper. And since 20 grams is too little, we'll make it 200 grams.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So
It's nice.
that is.
I think so.
part of
I
the
think first, so the
Rockstars
viewers,
set.
yeah. So the viewer, so since Harris revealed what the coffee is, if you when you do get coffee A, and you make it an espresso, it's a higher yield, right? Just like we did in Boston, that this coffee needs a higher yield, aside not the 1:2, right? You need to go a little bit higher for this coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to bring out all those flavors and the floral
Hmm.
that stuff. It's a nice coffee, and we're very close to saying goodbye to it because it's almost all gone. So
So
I actually kept some in the freezer, so I can have it forever.
now, just going back since you revealed that, I would technically start with a lower temperature if I was somebody who was gonna do a brew. I wouldn't start at like off kettle. Like I wouldn't start at 100. I would probably start at maybe an 88, so that you're not scorching. You're not using like super hot coffee when you're brewing. That's what I would have
Yeah.
done.
It's very very sweet coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, B guys. Um, what did you guys
B,
say?
I would have had as an espresso. So I would have been happy as a happier.
So B, I find that B is an interesting coffee because it's got that range and it's a good learning coffee.
Uh huh.
Um, it is an Indian monsoon Malabar.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
And
why there was that savory there with
exactly,
this one.
the way Indian monsoon Malabar is processed is, um, back way back when coffee was being transported, it just sits in a warehouse, and it's really rainy in India, so this
Hmm.
coffee dries in a warehouse while it's raining outside, and
Yeah.
that's where all the weird soy like taste comes from.
Uh huh.
And
Yeah.
I think some people would enjoy this coffee. Um, as an espresso, it's really interesting. Also as a pour over. So I think it's a versatile coffee. In terms of, would you guys call it specialty?
Mm,
Well, I know that there are specialty coffees from India. But I'm not too sure if this one would be though.
I would say this would probably be at a fine commercial.
Like an
There
80?
you go. Yeah.
A little bit under 80?
Maybe a little
Around
under
there,
80, I think.
either high 70s, low 80s.
Yeah.
So probably I'd say maybe a 79, maybe an 80, depending on, um, yeah, well, yeah, 79 or low 80.
Would it would it be a good milky coffee? Raul, I think you said it'd be a good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would. It would. It's strong enough to cut through it, but still retain that kind of flavors that it has.
I hear Eric's alarm.
Yeah,
Ding
I
dong.
can't
Yeah.
stop
So
it.
yeah.
All right. So okay. Yeah. So that's the Indian monsoon Malabar. It is a really interesting processing method, and it's.
Was this the
I
one that you roasted? No.
no, I didn't roast this. It came roasted.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and then the last one. Do you guys want to know what the last one is?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the last one is a Uganda coffee,
I knew it.
and
I
this
had
actually
a
came from
feeling.
Eric. This is one of Eric's coffees, and he sent it to me. And yeah, I think it's a great blender coffee.
It is. It is. It is.
It's it
I think it's a good
balances.
base.
Yeah, it makes a good base. It's very comparable to like a Brazil. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a little bit. Yeah, it's comparable to a Brazil. It's got that nutty note. It's got you know, red cherry notes, and I don't know. It's something that I think everyone has to taste.
Uh
In
huh.
terms of pricing, I think it's got the range, right? Like you've got A, which is, you know, high end specialty coffee. You've got a really interesting processed coffee that basically dried in the rain,
Uh
the
huh.
Monsoon Malabar, and the Uganda coffee, which is it's an up and coming coffee growing region in Africa, and I think it's they've got a lot of room to improve, and I feel
Yeah.
that a lot of the places here in the Philippines, our coffees
Hmm.
um, have the same similar notes as this coffee,
Yeah. Uh
and
huh.
I'm starting to wonder if it's because of um, drying method or process or whatever. But definitely it's got huge room to improve. Just like Philippine coffees, like we can improve our coffees.
Is are you talking about B or is C? This is
C
C that you're
C
talking about.
yeah C
C. Yeah,
C.
because for those who are watching, so Uganda is a part in Africa, and it is where the R grading system was actually based on, because Uganda is a primarily robusta growing region. So they've also, for the past years, they've also been doing a lot of improvements on their on their Arabica coffees. I know that there's one Uganda specialty lot. It's called Uganda Sipi Falls, SIPI Falls, and I've heard really good things about it. So, like what Harris said, is that there are a lot of improvements that are happening, and the quality of the Arabica coffees are getting a lot better there in Uganda.
Yeah. No, well, going back to what I said earlier, with the coffees, I think as long as there's some sort of direction with how to work with the coffee, it would be a lot more enjoyable. Hello.
Mwah.
Hi.
Say hi, babe. Say hi. All right.
Hello.
It's
Yeah.
my baby girl.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest challenges that whenever you get a new coffee, that you kind of think, what do I do with it? Like, do you have enough to really dial it in and figure out how to really get a lot of the flavors out? And I think for the home brewer, some people just either they don't have the time to really figure out how to really work with some coffees. And that might be another reason why there's always that barrier to some people who might opt for, oh, that's a really expensive coffee. Like, for example, if I knew that I was working with a Panama gauge, the lot 79, I would have been nervous. I would have not been like,
That
ooh, I'm gonna,
Ethiopian gasha.
yeah. Oh, Ethiopia, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right, lot 79. Yeah, you would be more parang aware of how much per bean you might potentially be losing. Like kunyari nahulog yung isa. No, 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 no. I'm gonna dust you off and I'm gonna still use you.
But all coffee is should be treated the same way. Like, I think coffee is such a difficult thing or a difficult crop to process. The amount of effort that goes into processing coffee is so huge that I think every bean does count. Um, you know, a lot of the people, I think people in the chat, like, if you guys have the chance to check out a coffee farm and just watch what the coffee farmers have to go through to pick these coffees, and the side of yung mga plantation natin dito sa Pilipinas, it's not flat. It's actually on the side of the hills.
Yeah.
And picking these coffees is so dangerous and so difficult that I think each and every cherry they pick, hindi lang pick ng cherry, it's even, picking ripe is so difficult that, you know, I think we have to respect the coffee, respect the people who picked it and processed it, that kung natapon man yung isang bean, better pick it up, and you're pouring really really hot water on it anyway. So, so I, I'd still drink it. It's and another thing that a lot of people don't know is, the yield of coffee. So if you pick a kilo of coffee cherries, after you process it, you only end up with 20%. So kung isang kilo ng coffee ang pinik ko, after I process it and turn it into and dry it as green beans, I lose about 80% of the weight already. And that's a lot. Like, imagine, like, yung all that moisture just disappears, and then you roast it pa. So even the people roasting the coffee, they lose about another 20% of the weight.
Yeah.
So roasted coffee, that's the thing. Yung a lot of people think that going into coffee and coffee business is, there's a lot of money in it. But being a person, and Eric can talk about this as well, and Raul can talk about this as well. We've been in coffee combined maybe ako 20 plus years. I've been in coffee since
Yeah.
2001. Eric has been in coffee since 2003, 2004, and Raul, you've been around since
2008.
2008. So combined, ano, 60 years na ba?
Almost.
Oh, I'm bad at math. So yeah, we've been around in coffee for so long. It's in terms of profitability, it's very difficult. And that's because coffee is a very colonial thing. You know, hey, the Spanish brought it here, right? And that's what has to change. Like that colonial style of of coffee, yung bibilhin sa coffee farmer, and then there's trader and all these things. That has to change. Like I think, you know, the coffee farmers should earn more, and the entire coffee value chain should it should be fair across. And I think that takes time. It'll take
Well,
time, but it will happen.
it's a really interesting perspective because we're still looking into the aspect of commodity, right? The moment that
But more,
something gets
but now less. Like the coffee you guys just enjoyed. One of them was not commodity. Like one of
Hmm.
them, people you mentioned like that. You know, it should be 1,000. It should be 1,000 plus per kilo, right? Like you know, all of a sudden, it's not following commodity prices,
Hmm.
and you know, if you look at commodity prices of coffee right now, magkano ba ang coffee, right? It's not going up. The prices aren't going up,
yeah,
and
but you
it's how much do you think the farmers are making on commodity? So I think more farmers should focus on specialty, right? They should
well
focus
even well
on
that's
micro
even the
lots.
hard part about specialty coffee because there's no group that regulates specialty prices. There parang if you look at C contracts, all of them are based off from commodity prices. So when somebody actually asks how much a specific specialty coffee is, it's not like there's a benchmark where they can say this is priced at this because parang you can that's why Q graders are there. They're grading a lot of the specialty coffee saying, okay, how much can this get? Parang what is the score of this? But if you're gonna go into a larger scale purchase price, it's hard to. I think that that's a challenge. That I remember when I was in Yunnan, that was one of the top. There was a speaker from um, who was it? I don't remember which green trading company it was, but they were saying that that was the challenges that a lot of the farmers were facing. They don't know how to properly price their coffee because, on the one hand, they know that they have like specialty level coffees because there are Q graders who are telling them. But on the other hand, there are buyers, international buyers, who are saying, I only want to pay this much because according to the commodities market, global commodities market, this is how much per kilo it should be.
And that's why I asked you guys how much you guys would pay for the coffees earlier, right?
Hmm.
And that's what would balance the scales. You know, when there's more discussion like this happening, you know, not just us three talking, but you know, there are people in the chat, there are people who are watching, and I think they would agree that you know, if a coffee tastes good and it's something that can be enjoyed, and it's like yung sabi mo nga, description mo kanina is it's like a dessert coffee, right? Then people would pay more. So that's
Yeah.
also why a lot of people who say they love coffee has to go deeper. They should understand that you know producing these coffees that are this good, it costs money, right? And if the coffee tastes like, for example, like a standard Brazil or yung mga kape na 300 pesos per kilo na nakikita ninyo outside in the market, or even less. Sometimes people even you'll see it in the palengke, 250 pesos per kilo. Would you expect that to taste like what you guys had? Like that's
No.
something that I believe the market has to understand that you know, you pay for what you get. And imagine kung ang coffee sa palengke ay 250 pesos per kilo, how much are the coffee farmers are making? 'Di ba? Ang
That's true.
hirap-hirap. So
Well,
kung if you do the math, right? Kung ang yield ng isang kilo ay 20 grams or ang yield ng isang kilo ay 20%, which is 200 grams, sorry. Tapos, how much are the farmers getting sa mga super mura coffee na yan sa sa palengke?
You have to talk
So,
louder to the mic.
oh, sorry. Am I going further and further from the mic? Sorry, I'm just getting upset. But yeah, guys, I don't
Yeah.
want to be a bummer. I'm just saying that
It's
good coffee
reality.
costs money.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember that we're also still looking at it from the perspective of what the current market is looking at. What do they understand? Parang, is the current market a majority of them willing to appreciate? Parang not really appreciate, but do they understand coffee enough? Because again, coffee is very subjective to when you say something specialty versus something's not specialty versus, it's always relative to the price. Now, if somebody understands, oh, like kunyari, we tasted the coffees, we found certain notes that we found thought was pleasant. Now, if
Mhm.
you were somebody who was not familiar with tasting coffees, you would say this is not good. You'd say it was sour,
Mhm.
right? Now, the question is the larger scale of people willing to explore and open themselves up to different um, um, perspectives on coffee, right? Is coffee just still that drink that you have in the morning for the sake of having coffee? Or is it something that you want to casually sip and enjoy and discuss? And yung parang you enjoy the flavors of it,
I think
right?
if
Mhm.
we want Philippines to continue as a coffee growing country, we need to focus on specialty coffee and be willing to pay the price for good coffee.
Yes,
What's
that's
gonna
true.
happen is if we don't do that, if we don't start looking at coffee as something like a treasure of the country, mawawala lang siya eh. Like I've seen farmers that have give up farming coffee, and it's happening all over the world. A lot of coffee farmers in El Salvador, for example, ayaw na nila magkape. They're replacing their coffee with trees, with
Yeah.
hardwood trees, and they're making more money on lumber. So, I think if you know we want Philippines to keep growing coffee, if we want Philippines to become coffee have coffee security, then we have to pay a little bit more for our coffees, right?
Well, it's funny how you say we, but can you parang the hard part is trying to convince people that parang change that perception or the mindset, right? Like parang you're going against a big wave, right? Considering we're still a majority of people are still drinking instant coffee, and that's what they're aware of, right? So you're trying to convince number one, there's a price disparity with regards to how much parang one cup of coffee would be. For example, not everybody can afford that parang a bag of geisha.
No,
Parang that's
we're not saying that every cup of coffee should be a gesha. I'm just saying that if gusto nating to keep coffee in the Philippines, to make sure that the coffee farmers will keep planting coffee and taking care of it and not chopping down the trees, we need to make sure that they make enough, right?
mm-hmm,
And like you guys know we run a nonprofit organization, right? We run
Yeah.
the Foundation for Coffee Excellence, and one of our goals is to ensure that coffee growers keep planting coffee. And
mm-hmm.
one of the things that make it difficult for them to keep planting coffee is maliit ang kita. So so how do you balance that out? You can't keep asking somebody to keep doing a business or planting a crop for them that's difficult to make money. That's why we pay them more for the coffee.
Well,
And
that's
in
why you pay a
turn,
fair market price.
we pay them more, a lot more than market
Yeah, you
price,
parang
right?
hindi. Pero the
But
what
here's the
sorry.
thing, right? Like what's important is magtanim pa sila. Magtanim pa sila ng mas marami para dumami ang coffee ng Pilipinas. Right? Now, a lot of people may disagree and a lot of people in the coffee industry might disagree with me, but it's the only way. Kasi kung pipigain mo sila na ibenta nila ng mura ang coffee, right? Like tayo. Like Henry and Sons buys the green beans at a really high price. We buy it at 320 pesos per kilo, which is
Mhm.
more than the roasted price of how
Mhm.
much the palenque sells it for, right? And you know that ensures that they will plant more coffees. That would ensure that coffee farmers will, may earn a good living, right? And hopefully they can have other crops as well that would give them an income. So, but that's how I feel. You
Well,
can
let's
disagree,
say
like
no.
that's fine with
Well,
me, but
no, I'm just trying to say. For example, in one crop, whenever they get something, let's say you get 300. Like, not all of their crop is valued at that high, correct? Hindi, realistically, di ba? If they have one harvest, how much of that harvest is top quality specialty para masasabi mong really good coffee?
magkaka-reject sila. Kaya lang yung nga, pagka inalagaan nila yung coffee, pagka inalagaan nila yung process, if they have the knowledge how to take care of it and process it, then it's worth the money. If hindi nila inalagaan, then they can sell it for yung nga that's why the question was earlier, how much would you pay for this coffee? Right? Now,
I gave a price.
yeah, you gave a price, and it
I
was a
gave a high
very high
price.
price. It was a
It was
very
a
high
high
price,
price.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, if we encourage our coffee farmers to take care of their crops, to take care of the soil that it's planted in, fertilizer pa lang nga, mahal-mahal na 'di ba? Imported pa yung fertilizer. So, paano 'yan? Paano nila without the funding, without the input, how are they going to produce that coffee that you're willing to pay that much price for, right? So yun na nga it's this is why discussions like this is important. It's important to inform people how difficult it is to produce coffee.
That's okay. So I'm willing to pay that much. Can you convince the larger market to do the same?
Hey guys in the chat, just how much are you guys willing to pay for your coffee, right? Good coffee.
Yep.
And share your thoughts. What do you guys think? Like, is three are you happy with that 350 pesos per kilo coffee that you get in the palengke, or 250 pesos per kilo coffee that you get in the market, right? And if you find a piece of like ito sa mga Facebook group, lagi ko nakikita bumili sila ng coffee sa palengke, right? Tapos nilagay nila sa grinder nila, nasira yung grinder kasi may bato. Sino may kasalanan? Right? I don't know, because I think you pay for what you get, right? So anyway, enough of being a bummer. um, yeah. So I don't know. Let's. I think we should go back to something more positive, because I'm just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying that
I
it's
know,
really
man.
difficult. Well,
Of
okay.
course.
Um, harvest season is right now. Coffee farmers
Yeah.
are harvesting their coffees, and they're trying their best to produce a really good cup that Eric would pay a lot of money for. And I think we can show them our support by buying Philippine coffee, right, and buying it for the right price. There are a lot of coffee professionals watching this show. I hope you guys do care for Philippine coffee. And yeah, Henry and Sons. Okay, so guys, time for the giveaway contest. So we've got Barista Quest cupping spoons for giveaway. Um, can one of you guys open up the screen from last time?
I can't.
No, I mean just on the phone, maybe. And
Let's
let's
try to
choose the
find it.
winner.
Okay. Let me see.
Medyo
I'm
ano
trying to find the other one.
Yeah, cause
There.
okay, Raul,
But
ikaw
no.
pumili ng winner this time.
Whoa. Paano yan? Wait.
Oh,
But the
the
thing
power
is,
is
wait,
with
let's
you.
see.
Why don't you
Hold on.
just count
Oh,
the?
you know what? The only thing that I have access to is the one on the institute. So it's only like how many people just commented. It's
I
just
think there
one
was like
person.
talaga.
Yeah, I think if it's in yours in the Michael
sige.
Harris Condens,
Give
you'd
me
have
a
more.
number. Let me see how many comments there was, and then I'll
Should we
count.
just call out a number and then one of the numbers
Wait lang
are
ah.
the whoever wins?
Oo.
I guess so. Yeah, but there's some people who did multiple comments. Huh?
Okay lang, okay lang.
Well, there's really no set way pa naman. We haven't figured out how to do this properly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we promised the giveaway, so we're gonna give something away.
So
Yeah,
tell us to
let's do
pick a
it. Let's
number
do it.
between one. What's the first number to the what's the range?
Teka, hinahanap ko pa. Medyo,
So
ano
Raul, what did you think of how the Mandalorian ended?
Oh,
I loved
spoiler
it,
alert,
man.
spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler!
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah, yeah.
I loved it, man.
Really?
It was awesome,
Didn't
no?
you? I loved it.
Did you? I. Were
I
you
didn't
happy
think too
with who
much,
saved
man.
Grogu?
What?
Were you happy with who saved Grogu?
Of course I was.
Really?
Yeah. Why?
Okay,
Who would you have wanted?
There was 36 comments.
36 comments.
36.
Let's choose number 27.
Number 27. Okay, I'm counting from the top, ah.
Let's see who the lucky winner is of your barista quest. Spoons.
20 ano?
27.
7. He lost count.
Yeah, I lost count. Wait. Sorry.
Because we mentioned Star Wars, bigla lang, what? Jedi?
What?
Jedi mind trick? Well, I'm
He'll
not
lose
gonna
count
bother.
again.
He might lose count again. While he's counting, I might as well announce right now, for anyone who's interested, I do have an extra one of these.
Gerald wins.
Gerald! Gerald.
wins.
I know him.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
He's a great guy.
Gerald, send us your details or
Woo!
private
Congrats,
message us your
Gerald.
details, and we'll send you your prize.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So
That's
I have
awesome.
an extra one of these, the Nyan Cats, Nyan Sam, which we can give away next time. So,
that's
you want
awesome.
one?
Oh, ikaw naman ang
Comment?
sponsor next time.
Oo.
So, comments naman ng ano eh. So, kunti lang nag-comment today. So, guys, sa replay,
Sa replay, yeah.
people can comment para you can have this cute dim sum thing. Toy.
It's a vinyl.
Dim
It's a
sum
collector vinyl.
It's a collector's vinyl. All
Comment
right.
kayo
And it's
if
from
you guys want to
it's
win
from
the prize.
Japan?
Singapore. It's by Mighty
Singapore.
Jacks.
All right. Hey, cool.
Right,
I'll put an account. I'll make an account and I'll make comments.
Well,
So,
at this
nag-enjoy
rate,
ba
it's kind of
kayo?
random eh.
Nag-enjoy ba kayo sa sa coffee banter this week?
It was nice.
I
It was
hope
nice.
so.
Actually, I like the coffees that were put out. I think
All right.
very good. I think it's a very good topic because we did talk with a lot of Harris talked with a lot of passion regarding this, but
Oo
it's
nga eh.
really the
Medyo-
perception.
I
What's
thought he
good
was
about
gonna,
this is that
come across the screen and slap me in the face.
no, but it's good because it's having blind tasting is really an exercise of your perception versus reality, and it helps put things in perspective. So I it's a really good exercise.
Yeah. No, but when people send coffees, please let us know how it should be brewed. If more
Yeah.
so, there's limited amounts.
All right.
Yeah.
So for next week, I know. Do we have a show next week?
You're gonna
What's
be
next
in
week?
Egypt, aren't you?
No, I'll be flying on the 5th.
Also, there's time.
There's time pa.
Mm.
There's time pa.
So I think
Well, what
next
do you guys
week
wanna talk-
we'll do something else. Or
Sige,
we
sige.
can do another. Well, it'll still have coffee sensory. I think that's something that we have to do on Coffee Banter every
Yes,
week. Maybe
yes,
we
yes.
can have a guest. So
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
whoever wants to join us, just send us or reach out to one of us, and we'll have
Yeah,
guests next
yeah.
week. And yeah, it's been an awesome show. I
Yeah, it
really enjoyed doing this with you guys, and I'd like to thank both of you for
no
Ooh.
problem. It's fun. It's really, really
fun.
fun.
And
You get to talk to other people.
this week we went an hour and 24 minutes.
Oh,
Um,
Uh-huh.
okay.
and it's pahaba ng pahaba, no? Nagkukwentuhan na naman tayo eh.
Kaya nga eh.
Oo.
It might get longer if you have a guest, no? But that's fine. That's fine. As long
Yeah.
as, yeah, so I guess what Harry said is, yeah, if you want to be part of the show, yeah, let us know.
Reach out to Raul.
Well, do they like this? Can they tell whether or not this stream format works?
I think it's working, I guess.
I think it's working.
The way it sees on the screen, it looks just as good as the other one, I guess. The other program.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is a little bit easier to use.
Mhm.
I can do the sounds. I didn't use it. Here, wait.
Now we're a real
Oh
show.
Ito, ito,
We're
ito,
a
isa
real
pa, isa
talk
pa,
show,
guys.
man.
Ito, isa pa. Hindi ko
We
nagamit.
have
Eh,
arrived.
dapat-
Yeah. When we
No,
introduce a
no.
guest, we'll do that. When we have guests, we'll do that.
Ayun. Oh, ano yan? Price din? Orco?
No, it's mine.
Okay, mine. Sabi nga ni Melay, mine eh, mine.
Orco, my God, man.
So,
Orco.
yeah, once
Alright.
again, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.
Live show. And if you guys enjoy it and you guys want more, or if you guys have anything you'd like to for us to feature or talk about, any topics,
Yeah.
please send us your
Let us know.
suggestions. If anyone would like to subject their coffee to the fun that we have, um, game din kami dyan. And also,
Game.
you can tell us, if you'd like us to reveal who you are or who the coffee. So, these coffees today, nireveal naman namin. Wala namang secret kung saan nanggaling. So, if you guys are interested to taste these coffees, it's really great for learning. Also, it's the last few kilos of lot 79
Lot 79.
from Gesha Village, my competition
Uh-huh.
coffees. And then we say goodbye to it forever.
Forever.
Aw.
Tayo ng bagong competition coffee, and this time it's going to be a Filipino coffee, I hope. So, thank you everyone, and thank you for joining us. And that is for the coffee banter with the Coffee Rockstars. And remember to drink good coffee.
Wait, is it gonna be the last show before Christmas?
Yes, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone!
Christmas to
Merry
everyone.
Christmas. Oo.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
God.
So we'll see.
Alright.
So before New Year, we'll have a show before the New Year?
I think we'll have another one
After.
next week, no?
What day is next week?
I don't know. Monday? Anyway, we'll
Yeah.
announce it.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's one time. I think there's a time for one more before
Kung
the
mas
New Year.
maraming nag-like at saka nagbigay ng hearts, then we'll do another show.
Yeah.
Parang hindi lang natin kaya yung araw-araw eh, no?
Then when
So
I'm
it'll
in
be
Egypt,
like
I'll do a
before
field
the
report
last show
for you
before
guys.
the new year. Thank God. 2020 over.
Yeah, 2020 is finally over.
Yeah.
Who's looking
Ugh.
forward to the vaccine?
That's
Yeah.
the
Maybe-
heated discussion.
What I'll
Because
try to
speaking of
do.
ones in Malabar, because the one that we're getting is from India daw, from Philippines.
Oh, de parang monsoon malabar lang yan.
So it's gonna be salty.
Maalat-alat.
Yeah. Well, when I'm in Egypt, I'll try to get footage of real Ibrick coffees being brewed the
Yes.
traditional way.
So when you're in Egypt, we'll do a live show as well. Let's see
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
goes, no? And then
Yeah. I'll do a field report.
we also
Ooh,
have
pyramids. Find the mummy.
we also have a new Facebook page called the Coffee Rockstars.
All right.
Look for it. And Raul will post to it. He is one of the admins of that page. And yeah, so follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, and follow and like this page, michaelharris.ph. Michael Harris PH lang pala, walang dot. All right, so
Oh my God.
goodbye.
All right,
everyone.
guys. Merry
Signing out.
Christmas. Merry Christmas
Merry
to everyone.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.